Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about fear, hope, and greed, and how all of that with your trading psychology relates in trading and how you can combat all of these negative emotions and become a much more disciplined, robotic, emotionless trader. And that is the end goal with your trading psychology. So let's get into it. So first of all, what are the different types of fear? First of all, FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, right? If the price of ES goes from 4,000 to 4,100, right? And you miss 100-point move, right? You're going to be super fearful. Right? You're going to fear that it's going to keep going even higher. And you're going to get flustered with all these emotions, and you'll want it to keep going up because you're going to be fearful that you're going to miss out on another move and cause you to take a trade when it's already up 100 points on the day. It's already extended. So the move already happened, and now you're going to buy at potentially the top, potentially a really bad trade, and lose a bunch of money, just because it went up. And the thing is that just because price moves up or down in a big move does not mean that your first reaction has to be, oh, I could have made XYZ amount of money. If your girlfriend or boyfriend doesn't know anything about the stock market, do they care at all? Do they care at all? A random person, do they care at all if the stock market moved up or down? No, they could care less. Okay, even in the depths of the biggest crypto pump, there's people who don't even know that coin exists. Right? There's people that don't even know crypto exists, what price it's at, whatever. They don't care. They're not letting it affect them. Right? The next type of fear is being wrong. And this pretty much comes with your ego. I know it's poorly written right there, but your ego, right? Not wanting to be wrong. Yeah, I get it. As humans, why would you want to be wrong? That's like the worst thing, right? Of course, everyone fears that, they'll be wrong. They'll look stupid. They'll look dumb. They were wrong on something, right? It's embarrassing. But in trading, you can't be fearful of being wrong, right? You should just not really care if you're right or wrong. Obviously, you want to be right more than wrong, but it really doesn't matter if you're wrong on one trade, right? Think about the next 100, right? Focus on those. Just because you're wrong on one trade does not mean it's not the end of the world. If you're properly risked and your position sizing is fine, you're not over leveraged, why would you care if you lose 1% of your account on a setup that was good? It just failed. It didn't reach your take profit right here. Went here and then reversed, hit your stop loss. Yeah, that sucks, but it's not the end of the world, right? So don't be fearful just because you might be wrong. At the beginning, it's going to be tough when you're, losing a lot of money, right? And that brings me into my next point of losing money. Because, of course, that's a fear, right? If you save up $5,000 and your net worth is $10,000, that's half of your entire net worth that is possibly at risk, right? You don't want to risk losing that, so don't put in more than you can afford to lose. That is how you combat the fear of losing money. Trust me. That is the easiest way to combat the fear of losing money, is put in, instead of 5,000, 1,000 or 2,000, right? If you do that and you really don't, if you don't care about that amount of money, then what's there to really fear about, right? If you detach the value of the amount that you put in, which again, if it's not a big amount to you, then it's not really going to matter. You're not going to fear losing that money. And then that's when, being wrong and losing and fear missing out all becomes way easier to deal with when you're not dealing with a crazy amount of money that, you're going to get super, super emotional and flustered about. Now, how do we control these different types of fear, right? How do we not let fear affect us? Well, first of all, you won't catch the entirety of the move, right? You're not going to catch this move from the exact pico tick bottom to the exact pico tick top, wherever that's going to be, right? You could sell right here for an 18-point profit, and it could go all the way up and break, high of day for another 10 points and then keep going, right? You're not going to catch the entire move, and that's fine. If price goes up 20 points and you catch just, half of that, 10, and then it goes up another, you catch 10 of that 20 and it goes up another 20 points. And so for the entire move, right, that was 40 points, you only caught 10. Guess what? That's totally fine. You know why? Because on one contract, that's $500. Would you not be happy with $500 on the day? I'd be all right with that. I mean, of course, yeah, it would be nice to, just hold for another 5 minutes and you make another $250 or $500. Yeah, that would be awesome, right? Look at that. That just went another at least 2-3 points higher. That's another $100-$150 just in the time that I was talking. Right? I could have gotten in that trade as I'm recording this and made $100. But I didn't. And I'm not affected by it because I know that there's going to be another move, right, that I'm going to easily be able to catch. Right? And that brings me into this point right here. There will always be more opportunities in the market. Right? I missed this move today, right? This big pump. I missed this sell-off right here, right? I missed this move right here. Just right here, there's 3 different moves in one day, right? And that's not even including, all the moves that you could have gotten on Friday or Thursday or Wednesday, right? That's not even including all of those. And there could be, there's still another 2.5 hours that the market's going to be open. There could be another setup and boom, you catch that one, right? So don't get so focused because you missed out on one move. I mean, I get it. It's so hard. It's so hard to watch the market just rally or dump and you miss that entire move. But guys, just in the 3 years that I've been live trading the market and 4 years that I've been just paying attention to it, there has been so many big moves. There are so many moves that were practically life-changing in the market that I already forgot about. Can't even recall, right? A 50, 100-point day on ES, right? 300-plus point day on NQ. I can't even remember them because there's another big move that happens and you just forget about the other ones, right? Because there's always going to be another move. I mean, I literally used to track. I used to track all the big moves that I missed. And then I realized, why am I focused on ones that I missed? Let me focus on catching the next big move. That's how you're going to make money and catch these moves, is focusing on catching the next one, not dwelling on the one in the past that you missed. And also keep in mind, an easy trick to overcome FOMO is, let's say that the market rallies like no tomorrow, 50 points. Oh man, I could have caught 50 points. What if you were short here and you just got squeezed out 50 points? Right? There's always a possibility that you're going to lose and just get absolutely crushed. Right? Someone got squeezed in the move that, went flying and you wish you could have caught. but that could have been you too on the opposite side. Right? And again, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I literally just called another 10 points. Right? When I called it, it was about 18 points from that Pico low. 18 points for 174. Literally 10 points right there. $500, another 10 points. I would have been happy taking it at 18. 10 points on one ES mini contract is $500. I don't even know. I've been recording for 10 minutes. So within the last 5 minutes, $500. I'm not affected though. Because A, I can't do anything about it to catch this. I'm recording this video for you guys. And 2, I know that there's just going to be another move wherever it is. Big deal. You know, life exists outside of trading. Right? So, my next point, your ego is not your amigo. Leave it out of trading. Right? Yeah, I know that, you know, our egos can really get into trading and not wanting to be wrong and wanting to prove all these people right. Leave that all at the door. Right? You have to be totally okay with just getting smacked across the face in trading. Totally okay. Totally okay. And just leave your ego out of it. Always be trying to learn. You're never going to be the best. You're never going to catch. If you do catch the entire move from Pico bottom to Pico top, guess what? You could have taken double your size, 50% more size, and you could have just made more. So you're never going to feel like you were just a master at whatever, you know, setup or whatever trade you had. You're never going to feel like that, right? Your ego is not your amigo, so just leave it at the door and things will be a lot easier. And again, I already went over this, but don't come into trading with money that you can't afford to lose. Right? If you're struggling to pay bills, I would learn about trading, but also I would go get a job and make more money first and save up at least a couple $1,000s. Right? And even then, I mean, I would say literally never put in more than 10, 20%. And really, it's more like, 10%. So if you're worth $10,000, don't put in any more than 1,000. And even quite frankly, that I would say 10% when you are a experienced trader. Don't put in more than 5% when you're just starting out. Right? Because if you're going, let's say you do blow your first account, right? Let's say you just blow your first account. You're just not apt to being a pro trader yet on your first account. You just blow it. But wouldn't you rather blow it with a really small amount of money and not your total amount of money, right? That you could put in. So just start really, really small. And then when you get more experienced, and where you know for a fact that you will not go on a tilt, that is so ingrained, that you won't go on a tilt, you cannot blow your account, then you can put in a little bit more money, right? But still not everything that you have. There's never a reason, especially in futures, to ever put a ton of money into your trading account. I mean, literally less than $2,000, you can trade a full ES, mini ES contract and a mini NQ contract, right? So you really do not need a ton of money in your trading account at all, okay? Now, my next points for hope, right? Hope is one of the worst things that you can feel, right? If I bought at this breakout because I felt FOMO, right, that it's going to keep going without me, right? If I feel FOMO and I just bought and I'm hoping that it's going to keep going up, oh, come on, please go up. If you can be conscious of yourself doing that and you see yourself, hear yourself doing that, that is a 100% guarantee that you should not be in that trade, right? Hope will get you just slaughtered. Okay, hoping that something happens. You should never be hoping that something happens. You just put on a trade and it just happens, right? It just happens. There's no hope. The market's going to do whatever the market's going to do. right? It's going to go up a bajillion points. It might come down a bajillion points or keep going up. That's just what's going to happen. If you're hoping for certain scenarios, let me tell you, it's not going to work out, right? Now, yeah, hope is not a trading strategy, okay? If you're getting in, again, at this break of that high in the morning, and you're praying that it's going to keep going up, and you took way too much size, and you're hoping that you won't get stopped out, guys, that's not a trading strategy. You should just be getting in, set your risk, and then wait and look at the chart and see what happens. Hoping for certain things to happen is not the way to go. Trust me. And that's what I just said, right? An executed plan is way better than hope, right? An executed plan, I would not, even if I did buy up here and I just got stopped out, I wouldn't feel emotional because I planned that out, right? I planned that I would get in this trade, right? I lost money today somewhere over here trying to long out VWAP, got stopped out. Big deal. I thought it would have been a great trade, right? I thought we were going to go test these highs, like right here. And yeah, it didn't work out for one time, but I was totally fine. However, if I were just taking a trade on a whim with no plan, well, of course I'd be hoping that, I'm green because I wouldn't have any data, any good data to go off of if I'm red. And that would have been a totally wasted trade, right? And also don't look at your P&L because it'll make you hope for certain outcomes because of the money, right? If you are up, let's say here, $500, right, at this point, and let's say $1,000, right, you'd be up another $1,000 at this point, and you hope, that you can sell right here for $1,000, and let's say this never reached here. Let's say that $1,000 would have been up here, right? And then let's say that price never reaches that, and it comes down, and then goes down, and then you get stopped out with absolutely no profit, right? That exact scenario has happened to me, right? Trying to go from a 3-figure as my best day to a 4-figure. And, I put in more money than I need to on my position so I can try to make, the extra little bit just because there's no reason, right? Just so I can, right? What's the difference between $999 and $1,000? $1 freaking dollar. And if you're changing your entire trading strategy just because of your P&L to try to make a home run on this exact trade, guys, that's not the way to go, right? Trading based on your P&L is one of the worst things that you can do, right? It's just one of the worst things, right? Setting your stop loss, way down here, or way, a really, really close stop loss so that you only lose $40. Guys, no, trade the chart, right? And if it's not a good setup and you're hoping it goes your way, you are gambling. 110% you are gambling, right? If I just logged on and all I see is this, and I see, oh, we're coming on these highs right here at 41.84. We're coming on in here, and I just buy right now with absolutely no 15-minute, oh, that looks like actually sellers are just getting aggressive and going to stop us out completely. And, there's not a lot of volume being traded in here. We might start trading down here. If I don't even do that at all, and I just, get in and start hoping that it keeps going up, yeah, I'm going to be super emotional and take a garbage trade and just not even have a real trading strategy at all. Right? So please, guys, do not just take random trades and hope it goes your way. That is completely gambling I mean, go gamble with blackjack or roulette or something. It's going to feel the exact same, right? And the cool thing is that you can solve the whole hope problem by just taking good trades. I mean, of course, if you take a good trade, yeah, you'll want it to go your way. 100%, I get that. But there's a difference between taking a really good trade where you define your risk, right? You're correctly position sized, right? It's a really, really good setup. That's totally different than just getting in here, no stop loss, just hoping that it goes up, because if it doesn't, you are screwed because you just put in 3 times as much, as you should have, right? So that is how you can solve the whole hope issue. Now we're coming into greed, right? Greed is very scary because greed is what can cause you to not take profit if you're up 25 points here and let the trade retrace all the way down to your entry and stop loss, right? Once you step into the trade, greed takes over, right? You can say, "Oh, I'm not going to get greedy." No way. But guess what? It's totally different when you actually step into the trade versus how you feel before. Right? When you click buy, it's totally different. Even if you're a professional trader, all this experience, you're still, now it's game on, right? You flip the switch, it's a totally different world now. Right? Like right now, each little tick that goes up or down, I don't really care at all. Even a massive move, I don't care. But just a little tick, if I'm short here, I would be, damn, it might keep going that other way. Oh, man. Even if everything is sized correctly, risk is defined, good trade setup, it's still, might just feel a little bit uneasy. So once you step into the trade, and if you think that, oh, I'm not going to be greedy, I'll take profit at 41.90, I know for a fact if it goes up to 41.90 and I get in here, oh, I know for a fact I'll be taking profits there. But then it's at 41.90, and then it's at 41.92.5, it's at 41.95, and on paper, yeah, you're doing pretty good. But it doesn't matter how much you're up on paper until you close it. That's the only part that matters. Closed P&L. Open P&L does not matter at all. You could be up so many points, open P&L, closed negative P&L, because you just didn't take profits, right? And again, guys, don't look at your P&L while you're in the trade, right? That is one of the worst things that you can do is, have the P&L little screen where it's, 0, let's say -10, -20, and then 10, 20, and all that. Because you'll just be looking at that and focus on how much money and see, oh, cool, I'm up $30, sell. And then, opposite, when you're down, oh, I'm down $40, sell. And then you're just trading based on nothing, just on some arbitrary amount of money, right? Instead of the amount of points and the price that, ES or NQ is trading at, and focused on that, right? Someone else could be up or down one tick minus 1,000 plus 1,000. They're not getting out just because they made $1,000 technically floating, right? They want to hold until XYZ price because that's what the trade analysis is. That's what the trade setup is. Even though they could, that's not how you get good data and have trading work out over the long term. Right? Yeah, if it might feel good to, have bought at 41.80, you're up 2 points, set your stop loss at 41.81, and oh, cool, it's a risk-free trade. But guys, it's going to come down here, stop you out, go here, and then pick whatever side. Right? And all that kind of stuff. Do not take the shortcuts and the cheap, easy ways of trading. Yeah, it's going to feel good just taking a little profit. Ooh, I made a $20 bill in 3 seconds. But that doesn't really matter at all. Because you could catch a way larger move. And that's not even being greedy. That's just trading, right? You can be greedy with a little amount of money. Greed is just how you feel, right? Greed is a state of mind. And if you're just focused on the amount of money that you're making, that is greed, right? And set a goal that you're happy with and walk away if you hit that for the day, right? My goal is always basically around $500. If I'm over $500 just in my first trade, I will walk away for the day and be done. The only way that I will get back into a trade is after being away from the chart for a long time, like at least an hour, and I'll only risk like $200, and I'll set a hard stop. And again, it would have to be just an A+++ setup. Otherwise, I'm not interested at all in getting back in the markets, right? It's just one good trade and chill. Unless there's another good trade, then okay, cool. But if it's not, don't overtrade, guys. You know? And again, right? You could be up, or let's say me, right? Could be up $500, then 1,000, then 1,500. But if I keep now getting addicted to trading on that day and keep trying to trade stuff, then I'll just lose money, right? And start taking bad trades, and then that's how it gets whittled away. Your P&L gets whittled away to nothing, to zero, to negative, right? To a tenth of what your biggest P&L was on that day. And that's happened to me. I remember on stock ticker RKT, I was up like $3,500 on the day. $3,500 on the day. Made like $1,000 in a minute, I think. It was absolutely crazy stock. And I was up 3.5K basically. And then could not stop trading, right? FOMO, right? Oh my God, I made $1,000 in a minute. I could make $2,000 in the next 5 minutes if it keeps going up. And sure enough, it went up and then didn't. And I was in to hopefully go up, but it didn't. It just kept going down and lost that entire amount. And I think I was negative $500 or something. Some negative amount that was decent. Lost all of it. Right? So that is a first-hand example of exactly what I'm talking about here. Right? Set a goal that you're happy with and walk away. That was like, at that time, that was like 3.5 times what I was happy with. Or more. And it just wasn't good enough. Right? So, yeah, okay, so for my next slide and last one, how you can control greed, right, is scale in and out of trades. It'll help you lock in profits and catch an extended part of that move and not feel greedy if you miss that. I will say, one of the only reasons why I feel, FOMO or greed is because I'm not, catching part of this candle or that candle, right? That, an extended part of the move. Right? If I just catch from here to here, I mean, that's great, but I didn't catch all of that. And the cool part is that you could literally be in with 10 micros, catch that part of the move, sell out 5 micros, and be in with only half your size, and just catch up to here, and you won't feel FOMO. Because even if it's just a small amount of your position that you're still left in, even if it's such a small position, you're still catching that, right? Money, you're still making a little bit of money. Even if it's not your full position, you're still making a decent amount, right? So scaling in and out of trades and locking out some profits here, and then another 25% here, and another 10% here, and another 10% here, and then fully out here. And then it's averaged, you're in here. You caught a decent amount of that move, right? A decent amount. That's how you can control your greed, right? And realize that it's in our nature to get comfortable with things, right? Like making money, right? 2 weeks ago, you would have been ecstatic with $1,000 on the day. But now that you've hit that a few times, it doesn't mean a lot anymore. It's a solid amount of money, and be grateful for all the money that you make in trading. Right? This has also happened before. I literally went from making a couple $100s a day to multi-thousands of dollars a day. within like, I mean, literally days of each other, from making like $30, $100 a day to like 2.5K the next day when I started trading small caps. And then made another $1,700 and 3,000. And then eventually, now that my highest was 3,000, $1,700, the next day or two, or next week, whatever, was nothing. Even though 2 weeks before that, that would have been literally unbelievable. But now it's nothing compared relatively to, the amount that I made before. And that's something you guys have to realize, is that, yeah, you will get adapted. You could be making $50,000, on your profit trades and lose $25,000 on your loss trades. And literally not care about how much you're making or losing. Or you make, 40,000 instead of 50,000. It's like, oh, it's not that good. Wish it was over 50,000. It's $40,000 on the day. Like, that's literally not even like comprehensible in some ways. But I know for a fact there are people out there that see that and do that and be in that position. And again, will still be like, oh, it's just not as good as like what it should be. And you could just relate that, to me, right? $400, I'd be like, I mean, that's good, but like 500 plus, then I would be happy. Then I would be satisfied. And that's just not the case, right? You just have to know that that's just how it works, right? We adapt to things, anything, right? You get a new phone, new car, new piece of clothes. It's fun for a little while, and then it just becomes regular, right? And it's the same exact thing with trading and the amount of money that you're making, right? And so my last point is, don't look to get rich off of one trade, right? Don't look to go and, don't look to go and, take a home run and try to be a hero and buy here and sell here, right? Don't try to be a hero, guys. Don't try to be a hero and do that, right? And just catch a massive amount. Guys, no. Trading is just literally catching little base hits, right? Little 8 to 10 point moves, couple minute trades, up to 30 minutes an hour, whatever, just waiting for the move to happen, and then calling it a day. And you stack 300, 500, 500, a small loss of 200, 370, right? You stack all those, and it's a steady uptrend, right? And that is awesome. That's what the goal is. The goal is not, on a $5,000 account, minus 1,000, plus 2,000, minus 1,500, minus 1,400, plus whatever. That's not the goal. It's to get rich slow, right? Not get rich quick. Because the quicker that you try to get rich is the quicker that you'll blow your account. I can guarantee you that. All right, so I really hope that you guys now know a little bit better about fear, hope, and greed, right? These are super, super important mental and psychological topics in trading. And I hope now that, you guys just know a little bit better what they are and how to deal with them and how to not let them affect you as much. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you still are watching, you are awesome. I know for a fact you will be a profitable trader because you're able to dedicate 34 minutes to watching this video. So I really, really appreciate that, you guys. And once again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, being a part of the community. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.